For many of our parents, their child is the first hearing impaired or deaf child they have ever seen. And so they don't know what to expect. They have no idea of what the future is likely to hold.
Before getting involved with St. Joe's, I didn't understand the unique disability that deafness is. I didn't know how to bring him out of his little deaf world. What we needed were tools, and that's what St. Joe's actually brought to us. They have taught Ruth and me how to do this. This is a tough thing to figure out every day.
There's so many options at the beginning that you really don't know which one is going to be the best one. But I know one thing, whenever I met Terry for the first time, she told me, Jacob will learn how to talk. And that just was such a relief off my shoulders, knowing that, oh, thank you, somebody that knows.
I've seen a lot of children with the same issues that they're facing. I've seen a lot of families with the same issues that they're facing. I know that there is hope and that their dreams can be realized.
The first aha experience was just being told that there's a hope for this kind of thing.
Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance.
Hope takes many forms. A pledge,
To the States of America.
a song,
Out came a sun and dried up all the rain.
but above all else, it takes shape as a goal, the dream of a parent for a child.
Just draw a picture like somebody got in the car.
We want to give him every opportunity we can to enable him to do whatever he wants to do. So that's why we wanted to go oral.
That's Ruth Mann talking about her son, Peter.
Ew.
Ew.
Peter.
Ew. Ew.
And this is Peter when he started at St. Joseph, when laying the foundation for a successful transition to a mainstream school was carefully made, sound by sound.
She's a girl.
He's a boy.
He's the boy. This is Darth Maul's eyes.
For more than 170 years, St. Joseph Institute in St. Louis has been at the forefront of deaf education. You're going to meet the people at St. Joseph's Indianapolis campus who've used those techniques to help deaf children and their families overcome the challenges that lie ahead. And you're going to meet some parents who'll tell you of some very remarkable results.
My girlfriend said something to me the other day. She said, if I didn't know, I wouldn't know. Referring to if he, by observing him in a social situation with his peers, she would not know that he was hearing impaired. That was a thrill to hear that.
Today is Thursday.
Good job.
Success, they say, is a journey. And for every family, and for each child that walks through St. Joseph's door, you couldn't ask for better company on the way to a mainstream environment. The most advanced techniques in auditory oral teaching practices, supported by the history and tradition of excellence that is St. Joseph Institute, and taught by a staff with a lifetime of experience.
I tried to count one time how many kids I've actually worked with, but it's up in the hundreds somewhere. And so I've seen a lot of deaf babies, and I know how beautiful they are. And I think that confidence helps the family feel like they have someone who can help guide them through what's going to be going on.
Now, it's no surprise that the way we teach deaf children to speak and listen has changed dramatically. But over the decades, all parents of deaf children have had something in common.
One thing that hasn't changed is that the diagnosis is still devastating to parents. And if anything has not changed, it's the dealing with the parents, helping them recognize the potential of their children and the options that are available to them.
Oh, it's a roller coaster ride. I mean, you're excited, you know, your first child, and then you know, you find something like that out, and you just don't know.
I see polar bear.
What was the polar bear doing?
You think, you know, what's your son going to be when he grows up, and then you wonder how, you know, the hearing impairment's going to, you know, affect all that.
The polar bear was swimming in the water.
And this is Jacob now.
Look at my house. My house has a Timmy.
His vocalization is really tenfold of what he was before.
I'm the one with the most.
Oh!
I'm like, Jacob, did you just say that? That's like a 12-word sentence. I was so amazed.
The biggest reward for me, I think, was to see the first sets of testing results come back on the kids and see that many of them had made as many as 3 years of language progress in their first year here. And that was absolutely thrilling. I can see that on a day-to-day basis.
What color is the ice cream?
Blue ice cream.
Blue ice cream.
Elizabeth Adams was too young to attend preschool, so St. Joseph's teachers developed an at-home curriculum.
Can I have a purple spider and a green spider and a green spider and a red spider and a blue spider?
You wanted
All of them.
And this is Elizabeth today, and Mom will tell you it's quite a difference.
I tell everyone about St. Joseph's. It has just given us so many opportunities for Elizabeth. If it wasn't there, I don't know what I would be doing. It's what I want for Elizabeth. It's what they provide everything that we need.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
I would drive to Cleveland every day if that's what I needed to do to get Elizabeth the education that they're providing for her.
So why such enthusiasm for St. Joseph? All of St. Joseph's teachers have specialized training in oral deaf education, degrees that are offered only by a handful of universities in the U.S. And each supplements that training by attending seminars and classes around the country. All are experienced in speech acoustics that help deaf children reproduce language sounds. Each child receives daily individual speech therapy.
He is talking to the girl.
I heard.
And all of St. Joseph's speech pathologists have specialized training in working with oral deaf children.
Now let's try to get all the sounds and go ahead and draw the line.
In March 2006, the Institute moved to a new facility, nearly doubling its class size, conference and training areas, and tripling its classroom space, and both indoor and outdoor play areas. There are specially designated classrooms for early intervention programs, and a parent resource center and student library. Add to this a cutting-edge approach to the latest technology.
The school has really committed to learning a lot about new technologies and how this fits into established training and teaching methods. It's absolutely exceptional.
But first and foremost, there's a passion for teaching.
We've taken great pains to make sure that we've offered a quality program from the get-go. We looked very carefully for people who had excellent training, who had the educational background that we needed, and who shared the passion for children that is so important to St. Joseph's. The curriculum and the staff have always been held to a very high standard.
At St. Joseph, listening and learning go hand in hand with laughter.
They're climbing up the hill. And look, the butterflies are drinking the orange juice.
And the day is filled with discussions of field trips, show and tells, and day-to-day adventures.
Look at his mouth. See how he's chewing? Arr, arr, arr. Can you do that?
Ow, ow, ow.
Arr, arr, arr. Look at him, that's funny.
It's been great having St. Joseph. He gets his speech therapy there, he gets his schooling there, his education, and he's got a great social atmosphere there at school. So he pretty much gets everything in one setting, which makes it so much easier on the family and on Jacob.
Of course, it's a fact that you are going to be the most important teacher your child has. And the teachers at St. Joseph will be there to help each step of the way.
With St. Joe's, you get a lot of positive feedback, especially as Elizabeth's doing better all the time.
Are you hungry for dinner?
I am very dedicated to Elizabeth learning to speak. I work very hard at it, and that's what you have to do. I mean, it's not just going to come. They give you kind of this boost, like, look, your child may have this impairment, but look what they can do.
When you start to see that she can make leaps and bounds if you work with her more, then you're going to in turn want to work with her more.
When I see his teachers expect X when I've been settling for Y is very important to me, because I realize, you know what, I need to expect the higher standard too.
But it's not easy being a teacher and a parent 24/7. That's why St. Joseph offers monthly parent meetings.
Most of your kiddos are going to be mainstreamed at much younger ages.
It's always an open environment. There's information that's available to you when they have these meetings, but at any time you can stop and ask questions, and that's what they're there for. It's great. And it's also nice too, because there's sometimes you may feel a little nervous or a little scared to ask a question, thinking maybe that's stupid, but there's enough parents there that someone's going to possibly answer the question you have, but they also make it comfortable that any question you ask, they're there to answer and try to get you the answer you want.
But sometimes young parents wonder, will the cost of these advanced therapies put a strain on a family's ability to provide what their children need day to day? At St. Joseph Institute, children from birth to age 3 receive our services through Indiana's First Steps program. And the tuition for many of our preschoolers and kindergartners is paid for by their neighborhood school districts and the Indiana Department of Education. In addition, our daily individual speech therapy is often covered by health insurance. For those families where there is a gap between what outside groups cover and tuition itself, St. Joseph's offers a tuition assistance plan. Our goal is that finances present no barrier to a child accessing our services, services which we are proud to say made us the finest new oral program in the world in 2004, according to the Alexander Graham Bell Association.
Places may have a mission or a goal. It's one thing to have that, but it's another to actually make it happen. I can't say enough about everyone that works with Jacob and what he's been able to do since he's been there.
2 years ago, they taught me how to teach colors. And that may sound simple, but it was an aha experience for me. There's been scores of little nugget examples like that that show me how to raise a deaf child in a hearing world and to teach him how to hear and speak at the same time and not be afraid of the learning curve.
Children are born communicators, no matter how they come into this world. And deaf children are no different than any other. And that means, for every parent, enough aha moments to last a lifetime.
It makes me happy. It just makes me happy to see Elizabeth doing what she's doing.
Our society's never thought about how to train a deaf kid to hear. It's always been how to train a deaf kid to cope. St. Joe's is in the business of teaching deaf kids how to hear.